Okay, I'm going to make a real short one on using a chainsaw. Now there's plenty of YouTube videos on this which can give you a lot better advice than I'm going to give you in terms of detail and stuff like that, but I'll just give you a basic rundown of a chainsaw and how to use it. Now basically you've got to have your chain pointing in the right direction. There is a direction that your chain goes in to cut properly. You also got to have your chain tensioned properly. The chain itself has to be sharp, and if you don't know how to sharpen chains, don't even try. You'll bloody destroy it. Give it to someone who either does or has the proper equipment, or take it to a place that is a business that does chain sharpening or chainsaw sales. They often also have chainsaw sharpening abilities there, and where you bought your chainsaw, they will probably sharpen your blades, or your chains rather, if you are, 'cause it does cost a little bit of money, which is why, and they also wear out a lot quicker, which is why I go and use miter saws when I can. My father actually sharpens it. We went and bought a proper sharpener, and he does it for me, and yeah, you also got to put bar oil in the thing for the chain oiler, in that little compartment, and then you mix gasoline and two-stroke in another container and put that into the fuel one. So bar oil is just for the chain, it's got a separate compartment, and then you've got a mixture of two-stroke oil and gasoline in the other one for the actual fuel. And don't go mixing that up, because you will destroy it if you get the oil in the wrong ones, or the wrong kind of oil in the wrong thing and whatnot. You'll murder it, or it'll need a hell of a clean out in the carburetor because you block the carburetor. So anyway, we'll get on. This here is a tree. Now you really need to be able to look at a tree and estimate where and how it's going to fall based on the weight in the tree. Now individual trees, they won't be standing upright, like perfectly upright, unless they're surrounded by a lot of other trees and they're fighting for light. But forest trees are fighting for light and surrounded by a lot of others, so they tend to stand very tall and straight, whereas individual ones out in a paddock may not stand very straight. But you've got to work out where it's got to fall and cut it the way it wants to fall, or work something out around that. Now it doesn't always work out how you want it, and realise that it ain't always going to work out how you want it. Here is the tree trunk. That's your first cut in, and then you go in for your second cut, and then your third cut there, and this would cause a tree to go this way and fall down, in theory. But you also got to watch where your weight balance is, because you may start to cut into here and it'll pinch your chainsaw. Now if it does that, it'll be immensely hard to get your chainsaw out, because it's the entire weight of the tree sitting on your bar of your chainsaw, which is your bit that holds your chain. And then you're in big shit. And also the fact that you've tried to cut one the wrong way. You may end up leaving the chainsaw outside as a result, just so you know, because you won't get it out. I know of other boys who used to cut this cut here. They'd cut it down on an angle like that, in line with this bottom cut, to help it fall. But you really got to know how to estimate where a tree's going to fall. Otherwise you will kill yourself, smash your house, smash your car, and cause a lot of damage. I know of people taking down power lines and everything. I know of people personally taking down power lines. The other thing you got to realise when you're cutting is, let's say this is a log and you got that sitting on two rocks or two other logs. You got to realise that if I was to cut this in from the top, the weight of this log is sagging in the middle, or is going down in the middle, and it's going to pinch that top piece. So I can't cut it from the top, I've got to cut it from the bottom. And with trees, with branches like that, you can cut them straight down there. It's a good idea to cut a little notch in there beforehand, so it doesn't tear right down into this as it falls away, and then cut it down through there. But yeah, I'll explain a bit more about this one in the description.